Hello friends, welcome to my new video series on data science and machine learning. In this particular series, I will be explaining the various algorithms that is being used in predictive modeling and machine learning. What are the various complexities and problems involved in it, and how to overcome those particular problems. The main feature of this series will be to explain these algorithms and complexities in layman term, so that everyone can understand it and relate to it. So there will be a very little mathematics involved in it. So let's start with first video, which is about what is data science. So this video have uh, will give you a very brief introduction on the data science, what it is, how it is done, and how it is done and why it is done. So the first thing first is, what is data science? Data science basically is all about understanding the historical data, understanding the patterns in it, so that you can solve the current problems. So basically, it involves, understanding the historical data and then how to apply those understanding to the current data, so that you can solve the problem, or you can predict something about the data in hand. So let's start and explain it, what I have just told to you. So for example, you love to date girls, and you are very systematic and a plan person, and you keep record of each and every girl that you have dated. So each row corresponds to a particular girl, right? And each column is basically the characteristics of that particular girl, right? So maybe this column is maybe their hobbies, okay? This column may be their education, this column may be their origin, from which state they are coming, which country they are coming. This column may be their whatever, maybe their height. This column may be mm, maybe their um maybe their preferences, etc. And this particular column, it's a yes and no column, so it tells you whether this particular girl, maybe girl number 1, girl number 2, girl number 3, girl number 4, girl number 5. So this column tell you whether the girls have been dated you or not, right? This is no and this is yes. So for example, like that, you have around 50 records, right? That means you have dated around 50 girls in the past. Now you want to use this particular data, so that you can approach uh, girls which can go on a date with you, okay? So basically, you want to increase the probability of your dating. So what you do, so in data science, if you are a data science, if you know data science, you particularly go and put this particular data in an algorithm, right? And this algorithm is basically data science algorithm. So it could be many algorithms that can be used in this particular problem. So you put it in an algorithm. What this algorithm does is that it sees this particular column, which is called the target, and then he starts learning from this particular data. It will see, okay, when the cases are yes, when the cases are no, when the cases are yes, when the cases are no, and on the basis of that it generates an equation. So it could be, you know, 0.5 h plus 0.6 education plus uh, point 0.4 0.4 preferences and minus some other variable, maybe, you know, maybe your hobby or something, maybe zero point 0.6 hobby, etc. So what it's this equation says that, okay, if the particular if this is an educated girl, maybe if it is highly educated girl, then your 0.5, then your maybe chances are high. If it is minus, it is you know, if it is low and all that, right? So that's how this particular algorithm works, right? It will give you some kind of equation which you can, you know, use it, which can tell you like what is the probability of your you know, for dating. Now, how do you know that this particular algorithm is good for you, like it's doing correctly what you want this particular algorithm to do? I will call this a model. It is called the model, right? So how do you know that this particular model that you have built built by putting this particular data set, that it's doing good or not? So for that you do the testing. So what is this testing? Testing you do when you use the same kind of data, but it's not the part of the training data. So for example, if this particular data is from maybe 2000 maybe 2013 to 2017, right? You want to use this data for testing. You want to take the 2018 data, okay, and then you use same algorithm on this, okay, and then you will check whether, you know, it is showing correct prediction or incorrect predictions. So for example, okay, you for example you have dated around same kind of data, okay, in 2018. You have dated around 2018, you dated around maybe 5 girls, okay, just an example, okay. You have dated around 5 girls, okay, and you know the results of these particular girls, right? Yes, no, yes, no, right, right. Now when you use this particular algorithm on this thing, it will also generate some prediction, right? It will be maybe yes for this, so this will be your actual and this will be your predicted, and this will be no, this will be yes again, and this will be yes, right? Now you check this. Now you see, okay, I have this girl, I have dated, and it is yes. This girl, it's yes, I have dated this girl. This is model is also saying yes. This girl, it is saying no, and it has said no to me, but the model is also saying no to me. This girl is yes, this girl prediction is also yes, but this girl is no, and but this my model is saying it is yes. So there is some error, right? So the only so the only problem with this model building is, and the only thing that you consider is how to reduce this error, reduce the error, right? So you so what you do, you build them, you have the data, you put it in an algorithm, you build a model, okay, and then you test that model on a data set that is not the part of your training data. So this is basically called the training data. Training data means on which this model has been built, and the test data for which the model has been tested. And the difference between the your predictions and the actuals is difference between your prediction minus your actual is called the error. Now you want to reduce this error as much as possible. So the lesser your error is, the better your model. So what you do, you once you are not satisfied with this particular thing, you go back and you again train this model again. You again train this. You again there will be some parameters. You again train this model and then you again test it. So this is an iterative process. You train, test, train, test, train, test. You keep doing it until you are satisfied with the error that you are getting. So the whole data science thing is getting the data, putting it into an algorithm, testing it, satisfied, then you move ahead, okay, to be implemented into a real world situation. If it is not, you go back and you train again so that this error part can be reduced. So that's all for now. In the next video I will cover more about this error and more about this test, like how, what kind of test data set you can use. So till then, goodbye, and if you have liked my channel, if you want to have if you want to be updated, then please subscribe. Thank you.